So I'm sure this is getting a little bit repetitive, but there's more bilge cleaning going on. Now, when I first started here, the big problems was a mix of, leaking oil, because we do have operational engines, and there was the leaky fire main, or the drainage main that runs through all the machinery spaces. That had a couple of leaks, which let the oil and the water mix. So the water got underneath the oil. Now, we had 3 kind of rows of problem areas. So where I'm standing, this was the first area of row 1. This has all been cleaned, degreased, and coated. And then we have area 2. This is row number 2. And I'm going to take you down there in a little bit. And I started down there and come all the way down here. So this row is almost done. And then the third row is the most difficult because the frames come down at an angle. So I actually need to kind of lay down while I clean and do any work there. I have to lay down sideways. So it's a little uncomfortable. You can do it only in very small, small little bits of time. Because if you're uncomfortable, if you're hurting when you're doing it, you're probably not doing a super great job. All right, so let's get down here. All right, so here's a close-up view of the very first area that I cleaned. All right, now you'll notice it's a little bit shiny, but this is why. So this is the linseed coating, but it's hardened. So if you look at it, it looks wet. But here you go. See, here's my glove. See? Now watch. I'm just gonna tap on that. So it's dry, and if I can really get you in close, you'll see it soaked into every little crevice, and it made this hard shell. You can actually see a little bit of gunk that got stuck into it. That's not really that big of a deal. Now we may go over it again, scrape the gunk out, recoat it again, but this is great. This is the water. Nope, you could go ahead and start a new water leak in here if you want. It's not going to get to this. And then later on, we're actually going to do the top coats. And what I did as well was I came up about to here with the same coating. So when we repaint this, regular rusty metal primer will bind to this just fine. But down here where we've had really bad rust and adhesion issues, this is going to see the best results. I can't just show you the good stuff without showing you the bad stuff. This is what the areas look like before we come in and scrape the junk out and degrease them and coat them. So when I'm done with this, I will bring you back. I'm going to take you down to where I've been working. And here is, this is the main area that I've been working on, is the middle section. And you can see the keel plate there. It's been hiding underneath all the grime. Now, a lot of the moisture that you see here, you know, this could be residual water. This could be old cleaner. This could be, you know, mop bucket water. But the majority of it, and you know why you see a lot of the black areas right here, is you get a lot of, it was the lube oil that came out of the 8-cylinder. And some of this stuff, I don't know if I can pull up any good examples here. Let's see. Is here, this stuff here, it looks like it's part of the hull, but if you look at it, all it's doing is it's floating on top of a layer of this oil. Okay, so here's that. So this is what it looks like. This is the first pass. There's going to be a couple more passes just where I come through and I get the, you know, the rest of the loose material. See, so there's all the loose material. This stuff here. And then we, you know, get all the mud and the sludge out of the corners of the frames. And then I can degrease, and then we can coat it with the oil. And just in case you didn't pause the video a little bit earlier, this is kind of what we started with. And just so you can see just how easy this stuff comes out. Here's this, so you just so underneath all this, you know, rust and sediment. All right, so underneath all the rust and the sediment that we get, you have the hull, which luckily down here in this area of the ship should be about 5/8. So if there was a section where you would prefer to have rust and rot, it would be right here, right at the bottom where it's thickest. And lunch is being served, so that's about it for today. And this is a pretty good spot to leave off.